Alright. Hopefully this is recording. Should probably check. So, I don't think I mentioned in the last video I did the other day, but I am in my program to get an endorsement in history and social science, social science, which means I can teach middle school, high school, all histories, all governments, civics, geography, psychology, sociology, all the good stuff. And so in my placement specifically, I am doing 11th grade U.S. history. I think I may have said that in the last time, but just so you know, any story I have in class is going to be history related. So if you don't like history, you should. But if you don't like history, sorry. Hopefully the stories will be interesting enough for you to understand and want to listen to them. But anyways, so originally the unit that I was supposed to start on today was my first day in the internship. Originally the unit I was supposed to start on today was going to have 2 days of World War I. Then we were going to go to the 1920s, then we were going to do the stock market crash, Great Depression, New Deal, and then we were going to test on that unit. All that was in one unit. In order to keep with the pacing of my school's department, my co-op decided to go with what everybody else that teaches U.S. history was doing, which was covering World War I in one day, which sounds like a lot, but to be honest, I mean, World War I gets shafted a lot of the time, but to be honest, World War I is not that big of a war in terms of like what a student studying history should absolutely know, especially in context with the rest of what's going on in this unit. It doesn't seem like that's as big as a deal as World War II, because that has a lot of pieces in it that were specifically tied to America. So with world history, World War I, of course you would spend more days on it, but with U.S. history, World War I is kind of a smaller unit. So we only did that in one day. So we were doing that today and tomorrow since we have a block schedule. But that meant that the whole lesson was pretty much notes. So that was interesting because students usually don't stay engaged throughout the whole class. If it's just lecturing, that's what it was, because that's just the fastest way to get them information. And they get bored, and when students get bored, they get kind of rowdy. So my first class today, they're honors, so they're pretty good, and my average classes are pretty good too, just my regular U.S. histories, but honors, they take the class because they want to be there and they want to get the weighted credit and they know they have to work hard. And so most of the times they're able to get it under wraps. I'm not saying all the times, but most of the times they're able to get it under wraps. And so my first period, they were able to sit through, well, not the first period, but third period technically. They were able to get through the lesson and do everything, and we got to Kahoot, which if you don't know what Kahoot is, it's basically an online app where you can make quizzes and the students can use their own devices to play along with the quiz. So it's kind of like a trivia game, but you make the question and then they can compete against each other and get points and be the fastest one in and all that stuff. So it's pretty fun for them to do. And so we did a Kahoot at the end. We had time to do all of World War I and the Kahoot, and I think we even had time to like sit there for maybe 2 or 3 minutes before the bell rang, so that was good. But then we got to our 5th period class. And it's not necessarily a bad story I'm about to tell you, but it's definitely something that I realized my teaching style, I'm going to have to change from what I've been doing in the past with subbing, and also might have to differ some things from what my co-teacher does. So to give you my background on my style, I've been a sub. This is the first year I've been a sub, so I started with the academic school year last fall. And in the classrooms, I'm more lenient just because as a sub, I'm in different schools everywhere in my district. I mean, I'm able to work in 3 different districts, and one district alone has like 5 high schools, 15 middle schools, 20, there's 43, I think, schools total in the district I'm in. And so I can't really keep track of all the rules and all the things and the forms to write people up or to call security and all this stuff. So it's kind of confusing for me as a sub sometimes. So I kind of default to I can't really do much as a sub to take phones, shouldn't take phones, or like get after students or give them detention or whatever. More experienced subs probably could, but I just didn't feel comfortable doing that because I just didn't know. And so when I'm subbing, I'm much more lenient on the talking. My thing is just kind of like work first, play later. As long as you get the work done, I don't care if you listen to music. As long as you get the work done at the end of class, you can have your cell phone out. That's fine with me, type of thing. And so I don't I'm not really controlling over that when I'm subbing. But I found out today with my 5th period that I would be more controlling over that in my classroom. Much of the internship is a learning experience and learning about how I deal with things in the classroom. And so with my 5th period, come in, talking loud. I know my 5th period has personalities. They're funny kids. I like them most of the times. No, I'm just kidding. I like them. They're cool. But today, and it may be because I just haven't really, this is my first kind of day with them this semester or what. And I know we've gotten some new people. They like to shuffle around students and stuff. So the dynamics kind of changed from last fall, but they were out of sorts to me. Today I decided to do this day in history, which is like our do now. We kind of tell them something that happened on this day, and I made it World War I related since that's what we were going over. And then I made some introduction slides with my pictures on them, just kind of like talking about me so that they finally know like who I am and what's going on and everything. And so when I was doing the this day in history, during my introduction, there's just this group of students that would just keep, like they would just talk and talk and talk. And it was just getting to the point where it's kind of like, all right, I can't really joke around with you anymore because you're not really taking my hints that I want you to be quiet while I'm doing this, which I feel like should be a no-brainer. Like, I feel like they should catch on to that, but didn't really think they cared too much. And so it was just kind of hard to wrangle them and get them to listen and just kind of chill for a minute while I go over this stuff. And then as we transition, maybe they can talk, and then when they get their notes out and get started, then they can like listen. But it just never really happened, and it just kind of came to the point where other students in the class were getting kind of distracted, and so I just kind of felt like that group of students was kind of prohibiting, or what's the word, stopping the learning going on for other students. And it may not have been that way. They were still copying down things, but it just seemed like the faces of the students were just kind of like fed up with the talking and interrupting in class and everything like that. And I was like, yeah, me too. But I talked to my co-op afterwards, and he was like, yeah, I've been in 6th grade for 6 years, so I'm used to kids just going off canon, being all over the place type of thing. So my tolerance is probably lower, or yeah, higher, whichever. He can tolerate more than I probably can just sitting in the room. And so he was like, I don't have to deal with something just because he deals with something. And so that made me feel a little bit better of kind of taking charge more in the lessons, like when I'm teaching I would tell them to be quiet originally, but I would feel more comfortable in like taking charge and everything like that. So that made me feel a little bit better. But that was very interesting today. They were very, very rowdy. And then I had sociology today, and they were they're always good. I mean, it's a sociology class, so we were talking about race and ethnicity though, so that was fun. I'm hoping the next few classes are more of a discussion how they feel about race and ethnicity in the class. They were definitely confused about the difference between race and ethnicity. Sometimes I am too, so that was understandable. And we watched a documentary to kind of like understand different things. So it was a pretty fun class. And all in all, it was a good day. It was just that one class kind of like stuck with me, and that was kind of weird. But try and clean slate for the next one. You always got to start with the clean slate. That's what I've been told, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it from today. I do know that my first teaching opportunity I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm basically copying the lesson plan that my co-op did today. And so it's just it's the same slides and everything. I might change stuff around, maybe add some pictures. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just doing that for the first period we have tomorrow, and then he's doing the honors period afterwards. So I only have one class tomorrow that I have to teach. On Thursday, I'm kind of like taking control of that one, and I'm doing the 1920s, and I was thinking about like teaching them the Charleston so we can like get some kinesthetic movement in there and try and do something fun with that, but we'll see how that goes. But I definitely have videos, I definitely have music, and I'm going to try and use the smart board some, so it's going to be an interactive lesson. I definitely won't be sitting down like we had to do today to get through the information, but we'll try and have some fun with that. So that's how this week's looking. I'll check in again tomorrow, and I'm trying not to separate the videos. I'm just gonna, well, not separate the videos, but like in the last video, I was in my car at one point, and then I was like in my room. So I'm gonna try after school, come home, sit in the car, talk for a few minutes, and then that'll be the video. So I don't think I'll be taking the camera anywhere else today. Pretty much all I'm doing this afternoon, just so people who are interested know, all I'm doing this afternoon, staying at my house and writing lesson plans, because that needs to get done, especially going over the information for tomorrow and then actually writing out the lesson plan for Thursday and Friday, because I have the activity in the slideshow, but we have to turn in lesson plans every week, and so I have to get that together. So I'll do that today, and then work on some other stuff I have to do for the internship. But yeah, so it's gonna be a busy night, but not like hectic, because I'm just gonna be chilling at home doing stuff. So I will talk to y'all later. Yesterday I said my saying would be successful, but that's definitely not what I made up my mind to do before I edited the video. So from now on, it's gonna be make today great.